And I'm going to offer you 6 things that you can do. So the first is, what are you going to do today that you are going to be grateful for? So whether it's doing something that makes you feel grateful or simply looking around you and realizing what you're already grateful for is a wonderful kind of mindfulness practice. And I actually keep a gratitude journal that I write in every night. It's not very big. It's just a little book about 4 inches tall. I get the cheap ones at Ross or TJ Maxx. And every night I write half a dozen to a dozen things that I'm grateful for. And I think during these stressful times, sometimes it's easy to forget how much we can be grateful for. Some days it may be simply, I'm grateful for a nice warm bed. I'm grateful that I have enough food to eat. For me, every day, I'm grateful for my husband. So I invite you to think about what you're grateful for today. The next thing that I would like you to consider is, who are you going to check on today or connect with? Again, I think it's easy for us to forget that there are folks living alone that have been quarantined now for 4 or 5 weeks that may not have the same level of connection as those of us who have significant others or roommates to bounce things off of. So if there's someone you can check on or connect with, that not only does something for them, it does something for you. One of the best things we can do for our own sense of self-worth is to help someone else. The next one is a little bit tougher, but I would like you to ask yourself, what expectations of normal are you going to let go of today? And I invite you to just think about that for a moment. There's the obvious. We're not going to work in the traditional sense. We're not going to classes in the traditional sense. What other expectations of normal are we going to release today? And now comes some of the fun ones. How are you getting outside today? I purposely came outside for today's little talk. Even though it's raining, I'm sitting underneath my awning and my patio because this really does something for my sense of well-being, to be outside every day. Now, for some of you, that might mean just opening a window. For some of you, it might mean being able to walk around the block or walk around the neighborhood. If you can get outside, that's really going to do you good. And that can dovetail nicely with the 5th item, which is, how are you going to move your body today? The less we move, the more cortisol, which is our stress hormone, builds up. Now, to be fair, the stress hormone is probably raging in all of us for reasons other than just not moving. So we have double the stress hormone that we normally would. So it's doubly important that we move every day. If you can do it outside, great. My husband and I walk 2 or 3 times a day, and I think we're logging at least 4 miles a day at this point. There will probably come a time when it gets hot that we won't be doing that outside as much. There are a lot of options for moving your body, even if you're in your apartment or your dorm room. I guess you're all not in dorm rooms anymore. One of my favorites is Yoga with Adriene on YouTube, and that is free. And it's not just for the incredibly flexible. She has a lot of videos that are for the average person, and they're not all very long. Some of them are only 20 minutes, and that's really good. Oh, someone else loves Adriene's channel. That's terrific. Yeah, I think she's just wonderful. And of course, there are a lot of other options too. There's yogainternational.com has a lot of promotional things going on right now. I think free month at least, and they have a lot of different channels. But you know, there's just so much available that is free. And of course, there's always Beachbody, which offers all sorts of exercise videos, including yoga, and I actually enjoy their yoga classes. So how are you going to move your body? Move those big muscles so that you can dissipate the cortisol. And that's also going to help with sleep. I'm hearing from a lot of students and a lot of my colleagues that insomnia is really an issue. And so everything that we can do to help ourselves sleep better is a benefit. So certainly getting exercise every day. And for me too, in terms of sleep, it's important to not have caffeine after mid-afternoon. That tends to interfere with sleep. So if that's an issue for you, you might look at your caffeine consumption. And the last, what beauty are you creating or cultivating or inviting into your life today? Again, maybe it's a little redundant, but that's part of the reason I sit in my backyard every day, because for me, looking at the trees is my way of inviting beauty into my life. I'm also a singer, so I take time to practice, and that brings beauty to my life, whether it's learning a new song or singing something that I already love. That's a really important kind of beauty. There also are some fabulous videos that are available now that normally are not. But for example, the Metropolitan Opera is streaming operas live every night. The Vienna Philharmonic is. There's so much that's available. There's a lot that's just being posted on YouTube. The musicians of the ASO are actually posting videos. So take some time to invite some beauty into your life. Whether it's music, whether it's art. Sometimes I color mandalas too. That may or may not be beauty by someone else's measure, but it's relaxing for me. So whatever that means to you, I invite you to do that. YouTube channel, yes. The show must go on. Yes, weekly Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals, this is true. You know, there's also, for those of you that are Bob Ross fans, a lot of people find that very relaxing and beautiful as well. So you can find that on YouTube. So those were our 6 things that I invite you to think about. What are you grateful for? Who are you connecting with? Which expectations of normal are you releasing today? How are you getting outside? How are you moving your body? And what beauty are you cultivating today?